Hashtag sit back and relax and enjoy the ride.
These damn hashtags.
Long ass hashtags. You know, that's what we're good. Hey, if we're good for one thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Punks Talk Wrestling! On this episode, we talk about what the hell happened last week between Wrestlemania XL press conference and NXT, including SmackDown's lesson plan for all its new viewers. And we reveal to you our first ever PTW Universal Top 12! Why top 12 instead of 10? Because it's 2 more, and fuck you, metric system. We use Imperial here in America. I am R.W. Hellborn, one half of the Crown, one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Tag Team Champion, host of the world, hailing quote-unquote from Philly. And always virtually by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England. He is my tag team podcast partner. He is Mr. Did You Know? He is the king of reels. He is the proper prick, CJ Newman!
God damn, just smashes it out the park every damn week, huh? Did you know?
What?
I just wanted to confuse you. Did you know that the combined attendance of every single WrestleMania in history, so from number 1 to number 39, is 2,043,003 people?
Damn.
That's the combined attendance of every single WrestleMania in history, which is absolutely fucking insane.
Speaking of numbers,
Yeah.
here's a digi bonus.
Oh, damn, love me a digibonus.
Love a hashtag digibonus. The Punks Talk Wrestling Threads account has now quadrupled our followers.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out to all of our new followers on Threads. Welcome to the greatest podcast. Welcome to the greatest podcast about professional wrestling by 2 guys in different countries that record our podcasts usually on Tuesdays, but sometimes on Mondays, and are live everywhere you can stream them, mostly on Thursdays, but sometimes Fridays.
Yeah, I mean, within that criteria, we are 100% the best.
By all of our own qualifications, we are the best.
For sure.
That is not just our truth. Our truth. That is your truth. Our truth, and our truth and your truth. Sometimes can differ, but in this case, they're exactly the same. Our truth is the truth. Hashtag our truth, the truth. Man, there's so much stuff that's been going on, though. There's so much that we got to get into. How's about we talk about what the hell just happened last week?
So yeah, like if you look back to where we were last week around this time, you would see that the wrestling world was losing their fucking minds because they thought that The Rock had taken Cody Rhodes' title shot, and Cody Rhodes was basically put into purgatory where he would live out the rest of his life forever, not finishing his story. Well, I think everyone needs to chill the fuck out a little bit, and I think everyone, I feel like at least
hashtag CTFO.
I feel like at least some people did take a hard look in the mirror. At least a few people did after all this came to, like, the press conference, was finished, because people, especially with professional wrestling, I don't seem to know why it just seems to be pro wrestling and not much else, but fans of pro wrestling just can't seem to just let a story play out. It's kind of strange.
I think we do know why.
Why is that?
We know because they've blurred the lines of reality so well.
What you're saying is like we've gone so full circle that we've gone from like people thinking wrestling is real to people now knowing that wrestling is scripted to scripting it so well to the point that now people think that what is a script is actually real.
And that is such an amazing place for WWE to be, because they can do anything they want and you're not going to know whether it's real or not.
But it's great, it's great to see people this impassioned about a professional wrestling storyline, and like, that's why WWE is booming so much right now, is that the lines are blurred so much that it's just like it's obviously engaging a lot of people, and the fact that I saw The Rock even had to like write online somewhere the other week during this past week, sorry. Where he
I know this has been a long week.
Yeah, I know. Where he basically had to he actually literally had to write that, because there's obviously he has a lot of fans that don't know professional wrestling, and they saw him acting like an arsehole at this presser. He actually had to put on his social media that I was playing a heel character, like, because there's people out there that don't even understand. And that's what's great. And I kind of almost wish that he hadn't have said that he turned heel, because that way it's like, I don't know. It's weird because he's now trying to portray a bad guy. It's such a weird paradox.
Well, it is weird because they are again, they're purposefully jumping over the line. They're dancing on this line.
Yeah.
And it is important for people that don't understand what's going on, that just see a headline. It's teaching the people who aren't WWE fans where the line is.
Yeah.
The entire episode of SmackDown was a lesson plan. This entire episode of SmackDown is for all the people that tuned in after hearing about the press event.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is all for new eyes. They ran through Nick Aldis and
Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce, having him run through the names of all the names of the people in the qualifier.
Yeah.
He's running through every one of them name by name with their little catchphrases along with it, teaching new people who those people are. It's fucking flashcards.
Yeah.
They're using flashcards up on the screen to teach the new fans.
Yeah.
That's what all of this has been about, really. This is and again, but it also proves that they are purposefully targeting new people, new fans, not already wrestling fans.
Yeah. And I think it's, if any year is going to engage, I mean, obviously WrestleMania, they always try to engage people that aren't wrestling fans. Yeah, but this year is probably more so than ever before.
Over the top. It's also it's a decade marker.
Yeah, it is.
And this year, and this whole year, I mean, already this year, we know this 2024 is this big year of change for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, 2023 RW hated CM Punk vehemently. 2024 RW loves the fucking guy. And you want to know why? Because he's in the WWE. And WWE CM Punk is better for me than any other CM Punk in any other company. It's the product.
Yeah.
It's the product that makes them. And that's and it's not a knock on anybody that does anything, matches are good matches by matches in other companies are good matches by the qualifications that other people set on them for whatever, and that's fine. But it is just night and day. Watching CM Punk in the AEW infuriated me. Watching him in WWE is awe-inspiring.
I mean, he was great on the panel and on the press conference as well. He was perfect. But what's really cool, you look at this press conference, man. Like, it was, we've seen press conferences held before, and I've seen press conferences not only held for professional wrestling before, but I've seen press conferences held for, UFC and boxing events and football events. Like, this press conference is held in the fucking arena. It's held in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And
Also, you don't rent that arena in a week.
Yeah. So it was, they had somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 people there for a press conference. Now, I've seen a few news stories rolling around saying that the press conference attendance fell short on what WWE expected, but that's just fucking slanderous bullshit. Because at the end of the day, press conferences do not pull 3,000 people.
Yeah,
we're not talking about press people.
Said that,
we're talking about just people coming to watch a press conference from the stands. Like
whomever said that, where did that come from? That came from somebody else.
It comes from Ringside News.
Oh well,
and not just Ringside News. A few other like dirt sheet websites have obviously.
Well, yeah, but they all report the same thing. They all get their dirt from the same people.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's just bullshit. Oh, it didn't bring as much as they thought because what? Because it was a free event and they only announced it a week. They announced an event in Las Vegas in under a week's time, and they had thousands of people. Like, you're not going to fill it out. The fact, yeah.
I'd like you to know the original source.
Fuck that take. Hashtag F that T.
You want to know the original source of that news story?
Does his name start with fuck? And the last name is Dave Meltzer?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
So all these other guys, all these other people, all these other dirt. See, that's all these other sheets, and I get it. I understand. I understand that is what that entire market is.
The thing is, though, with WWE's current way of telling a story, they're killing off dirt sheets. They really are.
They are.
Because
they're making them.
They're using dirt sheets. They're using their own dirt sheets of stories against them, and using them for their own stories. And they're using them and they're delegitimizing them. Yeah, exactly. And people are generally slowly starting to give less of a shit about them, because that's why a lot of these, things like Ringside News have started to lean more heavily on like random top 10 lists than actually giving news, because a lot of the news they give over ends up being absolute bullshit, saying that something's going to happen and it doesn't happen. It's just
anyway. Hashtag Digibonus. Hashtag. Where's our other hashtag? Hashtag BitBest.
That hashtag wasn't even made on fucking. You made that one up earlier before we even started recording.
Oh yeah, we weren't even recording, so you're not even going to know what that means. Just make hashtag BitBest. Just start using it. Use it however you want. That's for the world. Where the fuck were we?
I think we could probably move on now to top 12. All right, here we go. Number 12. We got Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Elimination Chamber 2019. So we had Samoa Joe was a big part of the match. I think he lasted, didn't you say earlier, like 16 or 15 minutes he lasted? 15 minutes he lasted in the match. He was actually eliminated first from that match. And obviously, it's what's remembered for is the obviously Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston being the last two, which then eventually led to Kofi Mania. Eventually, I think that what year was that? WrestleMania 37, I think, that year, possibly.
Yes, that seems to. I think that was it.
Because Kofi, because this was for the WWE Championship, and obviously Kofi nearly won, and I think that's what pushed his more momentum for him to.
That's what it was.
Bryan,
it ended. It was which, by the way, this match just coincidentally falls in on our Elimination Chamber month.
Yeah. And next week we are doing Elimination Chamber 2012, I believe. I don't know. I'll have to actually look. I can't actually fucking remember.
And this was, I believe, Samoa Joe's only appearance in an Elimination Chamber match.
It seems to be, yeah.
Number 11, we have, in our 11 spot, we have Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman, Bobby Roode, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Rusev, and The Miz at the WWE Money in the Bank 2018. Speaking of people whose opinions don't matter, this had a 4.25 star rating from that guy. What did we mention before? Oh, we mentioned this before because this was Braun Strowman winning the Money in the Bank, and he cashed it in at SummerSlam, the SummerSlam that we were also at.
Yes, we were.
That was SummerSlam 2018 in Brooklyn. So we got to see an unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash in. We've never seen a successful cash in.
That'd be so cool to be there in person for a successful cash in.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I mean, hey, we might see.
Fuck yeah, we're forgetting.
Who knows?
We are forgetting, aren't we?
We are forgetting. There is a potential. There is senior Money in the Bank.
Just sitting there, yeah.
Just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't even tried to cash in a while.
He hasn't, no.
Yeah.
Number 10 is against Samoa Joe versus Ricochet in Stomping Grounds 2019. Obviously an old PLE that no longer exists. I think it only existed for like 2 years, probably.
Maybe even only that once. I'm not sure.
Might have been only that one, yeah. One of the more recent matches for Samoa Joe, obviously only being in 2019. He defended the United States Championship against Ricochet, representing the Raw brand, because if you remember, Stomping Grounds was like a SmackDown versus Raw situation.
Oh, yes. It was one of those. It was back when they had independent branded shows and then combined branded shows.
Yeah. As you'd probably expect from Ricochet and Samoa Joe, really good singles contest.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe again, third match in. Didn't win this one either, but obviously a really good match. And Ricochet won his first WWE singles title, not including NXT, obviously, here in this match. So won the US title from Samoa Joe in this match. And that's number 10.
Moving on to number 9 then. Number 9. Once again, just to reiterate, this list has been compiled based on our fan requests and the independent research of our special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman. This is Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar at the one and only Great Balls of Fire. This has been listed. This has been stated as potentially the biggest match of Samoa Joe's run in WWE, which, yeah, this was his only one-on-one match against Brock Lesnar. This was main event one-on-one for the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
And this was this was a dream match. This was, by all intents and purposes, this would have been considered a dream match.
Yeah.
It was certainly the only criticism that people have with it was just the length of time, but it's a Brock Lesnar match.
I remember this match. I really, really enjoyed this match, and I really enjoyed the lead up to this match. I do remember a promo between Joe and Lesnar where like Lesnar wasn't looking at him, and Joe was like, "Look at me, boy," basically.
Oh yeah. Oh
good.
yes. The lead up to this
match.
You're not gonna. Samoa Joe demands your attention.
Yeah.
Every time he's in the ring.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what else you want to tell me. There's nothing else to tell about that match because it was too short to really talk more about it. Other than go watch it. It'll only take you like 6 minutes to watch that match.
Number 8, we have Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. This is very soon after Shinsuke's debut, which he made against Sami Zayn, I believe. And obviously pretty shortly after that, he was put straight in the NXT Championship picture, because why wouldn't he be? So Samoa Joe was champion coming out of like a rivalry with Finn Balor at the time. And obviously both veterans of the business, so people really obviously knew who Joe was mainly from Ring of Honor and Nakamura from New Japan. So, and as I believe, I don't think these two had ever faced off before, so this would be the first time, and obviously it delivered in exactly how everyone expected it to.
Yes.
And actually classic of a match.
Yes, a wrestling masterclass.
Yeah.
As it has been described.
Yeah.
By us.
Yeah, by us.
By us.
Very
and other people maybe some other people said it too, but we definitively can say this is a wrestling masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, as you'd expect from this match, you know, like we got the King of Strong Style and you got Samoa Joe, so it's a very stiff encounter, if you'd like to call it that.
Yeah.
But obviously, again, for the what, the fifth or sixth match running now, Samoa Joe did not win this match. Shinsuke Nakamura did become the new champion. He would then recapture it at the next pay-per-view, becoming the first ever two-time NXT champion in history. As before him, no one had ever done it before him. So, but yeah, again, this match is such a fucking great match. Again, this Samoa Joe does not need to win these matches in order for it to be a great match. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, he really doesn't. And so far, he hasn't won a single one of the matches that we've listed. Goes to show you,
wins and losses don't mean shit.
Yeah, in this instance, goes to Joya. Hashtag goes to Joya. I gotta write that one down too. Hold on, I gotta write that down before I forget it. Hashtag goes to Joya. And now that brings us to number 7. The first on our list that Samoa Joe wins is versus Kurt Angle at TNA Lockdown 2008. This match was inside of a 6-sided steel cage. I mean, what do you want to say? It's Samoa Joe, it's Kurt Angle, and they're in a fucking steel cage. And at the end result, Samoa Joe stands high, finally defeating Kurt Angle to win the TNA Heavyweight Championship. And I think that was his first I think that's his first TNA Championship win, if I'm not incorrect. If I am incorrect, it's because I was not given correct information by my sources.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I know he spent a lot of time in Ring of Honor before he went to TNA in 2008. Yeah. Sounds about right to me. So,
yeah, it's great. You should find it. You should watch it, and then remind us how good this list is. This list compiled by our fans and the independent research by our special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman.
Number 6, I was actually there for. It was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, NXT TakeOver London. Great show. One of the better NXT takeovers, probably. I think a lot of people. Well,
of course say. Of course it was better. You were there.
Well, fuck yeah, of course it was.
You being in attendance for a match, just
made it way better.
Yeah, either one of us being in attendance makes the event better.
Yeah.
But both of us in attendance at the same event exponentially increases the value of said event.
Yeah.
By an incalculable amount. Let's say, like we can't even give you the facts and figures. Most people can't count that high.
Finn Balor donned a Jack the Ripper themed Demon King paint job for this event, and obviously being the Demon King at this time meant Finn Balor never lost, and he didn't in this match either. He beat Samoa Joe in this match, but again, it didn't matter. It's a fucking phenomenal match. Joe and Balor actually had a series of really fun matches between them. I think one of them also being in a cage as well, so definitely go back and find that one. They had a lot of great matches.
Number 5, as voted on by our fans and the independent research of our special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman, is Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles for the X Division Championship at TNA Unbreakable 2005. A 5-star match by someone who rates things by stars. And I mean, it's hard to disagree. But with anyone who rates this as the maximum amount that they can rate things. Widely regarded as one of the most excellent matches in professional wrestling.
I definitely have seen this match before, and if you haven't, just go. But I mean, we all know how great AJ Styles is, but obviously at this time he was way younger and he was doing some fucking insane moves.
This is almost 20 years ago at this time.
That's which is crazy to think.
It sounds fucking insane when you say it that way. But AJ Styles came away with the victory and the X Division Championship. You know what? There's nothing we can say about it that would do it justice than watching it.
As some people say, it's like the best TNA match of all time, even to this day.
It is. It could be widely considered. It could be considered that.
Next match, number 4, we got Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship in a fatal 4-way at WWE SummerSlam 2017.
Ooh, SummerSlams are always good. A fatal 4-way at number 4. Wow, what a coincidence!
Yeah, look at that, huh? Do definitely remember.
You can't write this stuff, man. You totally can write this stuff.
Samoa Joe not winning this match. Lesnar actually retained in the end by pinning Roman Reigns. But I do really remember this match. So, we got 4 massive fucking dudes in this match, and it's exactly what you probably expect it to be. It's just a bit of a demolition derby between like 4. I mean, obviously with a fatal 4-way as well, no rules, so there was just a lot of man meat being thrown around all over the place. You know? But I remember this match. I remember this match quite well. Actually, I wouldn't mind going back to watch this match at some point. I think this would be worth it again. Yeah,
a 4.75 stars by someone who rates things by 5 stars.
Yeah, and that's pretty high rating for him to rate a WWE match that high. So.
That's a high. Yeah, that's a super high rating for a WWE match.
Yeah,
for sure. But just goes to show you, anytime Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are in a match, it makes it a great match.
Yeah.
Anytime Samoa Joe's in a match, it makes a great match. And Braun Strowman's really big, so he fits there. And another Samoa Joe match that he didn't win.
That's right.
So far, we've had 1.
Yeah, we literally have 1. Yeah.
Well, for those that want Samoa Joe matches that he's won, it's technically 3 matches in 1, because the first 2 ended in a draw. And if you know what I'm talking about, you might have already figured it out. Number 3 is the 3-match rivalry, Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, from starting in 2000, all of them in 2004.
Yeah.
From the World Title Classic, Joe vs. Punk 2, and then the All-Star Extravaganza 2. Finally, Samoa Joe vs. Punk 3 ended with Samoa Joe finally winning, finally beating CM Punk. And that's another one where you've got to go back, however you can watch Ring of Honor, go back to 2004 and watch all of these matches. Again, this is 20 years ago.
I'm pretty sure you could probably find all of these on YouTube at this point, possibly.
Probably most likely the Ring of Honor
YouTube page will likely have all of these.
Is a good place to start.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, and I know for sure that the number 2 spot is definitely on YouTube.
Yes, it is
on the Ring of Honor YouTube page, but it's Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi from the Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi event in 2005. Pretty much say that this is everyone else's number 1 Samoa Joe match. It was if you go on cagematch.net, which I know a lot of people use to rate matches, it's rated as Samoa Joe's top match. And if you haven't seen this match, well, holy fucking shit, because if you're into seeing 2 fucking ham hocks of guys just absolutely beat the fuck out of each other, then watch this match. Some of the hardest chops you've seen, just straight up kicking each other in the head. It's brutal. Yeah. It's a brutal match. It's nearly an MMA fight, but it's obviously it's a very New Japan style wrestling match. So definitely watch this.
All out. This was a battle. This was a physical physical test of who is best.
Yeah.
And you're right. This is pretty much everyone else's number one pick.
Yeah.
But not ours. Not Punk's Talk Wrestling. Because our list isn't comprised from dirt sheets. It's not comprised by people who rate things by stars. It's not rated... it's not a top 10 even. Because 12 is better than 10. Hashtag Imperial System, baby. Hashtag F the metric system, even though the metric system is far better for everything on every purpose that it could be used for measuring. Coming in at number 1 on the Punk's Talk Wrestling, what did we call this?
I can't remember.
What did we call this? We had a name for it, right? I had a name for it. Coming in at number 1 on the Punk's Talk Wrestling Universal Top 12 Samoa Joe matches, voted on by you, the fans, and compiled by our independent special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman, from the Great North Wrestling PWA Calgary Stampede event on July 5th, 2008. I'll edit out the other part before that. Samoa Joe and his tag team partner, Hannibal, versus Gama and Raj Singh, otherwise known as the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal, in a tag team match to determine who wins, because it's just a tag team match. But it's the only time you will ever see Samoa Joe versus the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal in a wrestling ring together.
There you go. And obviously, every single episode of this podcast is dedicated to the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal.
And that's obviously why this has come in at number 1, because this is the Punk's Talk Wrestling Universal Top 12 list. So, of course, this is number 1, because it involves the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal.
There you go.
And when you watch this match, you will see definitively that Samoa Joe could not beat Jinder Mahal without accidental interference by Jinder Mahal's own tag team partner hitting him. Samoa Joe gets the win and the pinfall on Jinder after a brainbuster from the second rope. But to this day, Samoa Joe has never beaten Jinder Mahal one-on-one and has never beaten him cleanly.
There you go.
Say whatever you want to say about it. Think whatever you want to think about it. But there it is. That is our Punk's Talk Wrestling Universal Top 12 Samoa Joe matches, as voted on by you, the fans, and the independent research by our special counsel, Danny the Brain Bauman. Number 1, Jinder Mahal. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Well, you can tell us what you think. On all of our social media chains, on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, on Facebook at Punk's Talk Wrestling. Comment on our unedited podcast episodes on Patreon at patreon.com/Punk's Talk Wrestling. That's all of the places.
That's all of them.
Yeah. Go like it. Go subscribe. Go comment. Say whatever you want to say about it. But it's undeniable. I mean, it checks off all of the boxes that proves that this is without a doubt, the definitive, universally accepted, and only Punk's Talk Wrestling Universal Top 12 list of Samoa Joe matches.
Gonna make so many people mad at us, but it's true.
You know what? I hope it makes you so mad. I hope it makes you so mad you gotta tell us about it. I hope it makes you so mad you gotta write on our threads. We think you're wrong, and it's blah blah blah, and this is the dumbest fucking top 12 thing, and top 12s are dumb, and you're stupid. I don't know what else to tell. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's legal. This is a legally binding, contractually obligated top 12 list. It was put into Danny the Brain Bauman's contract when we hired him as our special counsel that all lists are considered final and legally binding, irrevocable, irreversible, and universally undeniable. So, I mean, it was written in the contract, so there's nothing you can do about it.
What else is there to say?
What else is there to say about anything?
How about this? I got my Proper Pricks Punk Picks this week. This is where I take 2 bands every week and just say, hey, go listen to these bands. They might be big, they might be small, they might be your own bands, but whatever they are, I'm going to tell you to go listen to them. And this week, I think for the first time that I've done this, the first time that I'm doing this, is both bands are British bands, and it'd be intriguing to know whether or not you have heard of them, RW, or not.
Hashtag both bands are British bands.
Both, if you like, yeah. First band is called Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes.
I have not heard of Frank Carter. For a moment, I thought you were going to say Frank Turner.
Oh, right, yeah, everyone knows Frank Turner.
Everybody's heard of him.
But yeah, Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. If you don't know Frank Carter used to be in a band called Gallows. They were a very big band in the UK. For what they were as well, they were only around, I believe, like 3 to 4 years. Okay. No, absolute bullshit. How about I shut the fuck up? They were around for 2005 till 2015. They're around for 10 years.
10, 2.
Yeah.
Same about me. They start with they're 3-letter words that start with T.
Yeah, Frank Carter was in Gallows before he was he split from the band after I think he was in the band for about 5 or 6 years, and then he started Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, and they are you'd just probably describe them as like a hardcore punk kind of, or just straight up punk band. Although they have taken a bit of a turn recently, they're a bit more, I don't know, just alternative rock, I'd guess, but. If you go and go and listen to their first band. It's God, I can't talk. Their first album called Blossom from 2015. It's a fucking great album and a really good punk album. The other band. And on top of that, I'm seeing Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes on Thursday this week. So how about
shit!
That?
No shit!
Yeah, I'll let you know next week how it was. My other band. Probably one of my favorite bands, to be honest with you. They're called Idols. It's spelled IDLES, not IDLOS.
I have heard of them, but I don't know that I know.
Yeah, they're called Idols. I'm sure I will show you them quite a lot once I'm over in the States. They've been around since 2009. They have not been around all that long, really, but they're 5 albums into their career. They've got an album coming out this Friday called Tank, which isn't...
Nice.
It's spelled TANGK, and they were asked, what does the album title mean? And they said nothing, we just made a word up. So that's what Tank means. This band is just fucking phenomenal. They are all over the place, but they are very in your face, and their live shows are out of this fucking world. I couldn't more recommend going to see Idols. And obviously now with their album coming out on Friday, they are about to go on tour themselves. They're doing a massive European tour, and then they're doing a huge UK. Then they're touring the United States through May and June as well, and then from July they are. And then a few more dates in September, and then they're doing their UK tour from October through November and December. So, and I will be going to see them as well at the Alexandra Palace. They're doing 2 nights at the Ali Pali, as we call it.
Well, see, there you go. There's another band that both of us can go see live separately, but shout out independently.
Yeah,
this is great.
But yeah, those are the 2 bands, Idols and Frank Carter and Rattlesnakes. And actually, there is a song by Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes called "This Town," which the lead singer of Idols, Joe Talbot, features on. So there's a song out there that features kind of both of these bands in a way. So go check that out. And yeah, that's the proper pricks punk picks for this week.
Hashtag PPPP.
I love that so much.
The greatest hashtag in all of professional wrestling
just great.
podcasts.
PPPP.
That's it for everything.
That's
right?
it for everything. I think that's it.
Yeah. Shout outs. Shout out to the Sportster.com, WrestlingInc.com, Sportskeedia.com, IWNerd.com, BleacherReport.com, and all of our threads and Instagram followers except the Anonymous Podcast Critic for their assistance in with the top 12 list. Shout out to Simon Miller from What Culture for shouting out our podcast earlier this week when he said on the podcast some people called the WWE press event cinema.
And that did.
That was you.
That was me.
That was you.
That was me.
You called it cinema.
He's obviously shouting me out. Obviously,
he was shouting it. Yeah, which he couldn't shout out. He can't shout us out by name. Due to legal things.
Yeah, obviously.
Also, The Rock. Shout out to The Rock for obviously taking inspiration from us when we trademarked the internet whining community 3 days before he coined Cody Crybabies. So it's obvious to us that he took that direct inspiration. So, put that on our checklist of things that we can put on our list of things that we said happened. So, those are our shout outs. And I think that's also it. We did all the things where
everything's been plugged and yeah. Yes, I just got a message from the Anonymous Podcast Critic commenting on one of our...
That guy again?
Yeah, that...
As we're recording.
He commented on one of our reels on Instagram.
All right,
most recent
what's
reel
the guy? Well, he hasn't asked... He doesn't seem to be answering your challenge, but what does he say about... What does he say
At the Anonymous Podcast Critic says on Instagram, and I quote, calling me cowardly, in quotations... The proper term is dastardly, in quotations. I'm ready to come at you anytime, at me. My superior intellect in all things wrestling and Phil Collins will humiliate an unproper prick like you. Hashtag no more chesty cough. You're damn right, hashtag no more chesty cough, because I no longer have a chesty cough.
Jeez, he's still riding on the chesty cough.
Yeah, and that was like
thing?
3 weeks ago, man. Get the fuck off.
Dude, pick up.
Yeah,
there's so much more to talk about that's recent.
Yeah. He likely does know more about Phil Collins than I do. I do know that Phil Collins was the theme for the first ever WrestleMania. I know that much.
Oh, shit, what?
Yeah, did you not know that? Again,
I did not
this
know
is
that.
not Punk's Talk Phil Collins, because that'd be kind of weird, because Phil Collins was really punk rock. But Phil Collins is great and all, but what I'm trying to say is...
Phil Collins is great.
Does that sounds like he's accepting the challenge to me, doesn't it? He said, I'm ready to come at you at any time.
Well, it sounds like he's playing the line here. He's now shooting it back at us, but that's not a formal. That does. I don't know. A comment on a thread isn't. I would not say that.
All right,
that
he's throwing it back.
That's not an official. He's throwing it back at you.
So far, this is the only way and means that he's been able to contact us is by these little snarky little comments, right? Mm-hmm. Be it whatever, just these text messages.
Yeah.
Now I put the gauntlet out there. I'm willing to do this whenever you damn well please, but you don't get to come back at me with some damn text message. This isn't 2001. You need to come back at us I want to hear your damn voice. You can disguise it. You can do anything you want, but I want I want to hear you say something back to me. Say something back to me. I want to hear you. I want to hear you say something more about my chesty cough. I want to hear you bring something up from episode fucking 2 that I did wrong. Yeah. Okay? So, come on. Let's hear it. And then, yeah.
We're going to throw
the gauntlet's out there, but I want to hear your damn voice. I want to see your damn face.
He's playing mind games is what he's doing. He's already playing more mind games with you. Turning it back around. All right. Well, you know what? It sounds like you may have to come up with some terms.
I'll think of something. But first of all, I would like it if he would just stop being such a coward and just show his damn face, or just do something.
Well,
something.
It's obviously, yeah. These guys, these people on the internet, these members of the internet whining community.
Because he said the proper term is dastardly, right? Apparently, he's not being cowardly. He's being dastardly, and I don't know what I don't know what he's doing that's exactly dastardly. Because to me, talking shit on the internet and not showing your face and not speaking your own voice, that's nothing but being a coward to me. So
I get, there's got to be he's got to have a really good reason as to why he has to keep his identity.
Well, I'm pretty sure he hasn't got one.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have one. Yeah. You know what? We're not gonna be reactionary to someone. It's not just the comments and the messages. He's doing it while we're recording, in order to interrupt. In order to try to like he's sending these messages out, hoping that he catches us while we're recording.
How does he know when we record as well? What's that all about?
Well, so people in the internet whining community have a lot of time on their hands, so he's getting lucky, is what he's doing. It's not. Let's not give him any more credit than he deserves, because he deserves no credit yet. He hasn't proven to us in any way that he has a superior intellect in all things professional wrestling. He's only caught a couple flubs. But at
the end of the day, don't call me the unproper prick. That's bullshit.
Oh.
I am the proper prick.
There's more
no
proper.
Two ways about it. Yeah,
there's nothing improper about you,
I'm the most
sir.
proper of pricks.
So, but I don't want to be too reactionary. I don't want to be reactionary and try to
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm keeping it cool. This is exactly what he wants.
See? Keeping it cool. But all I'm saying is, I ain't accepting your acceptance by some stupid text message, as I'm going to call it.
Now that we have officially hired our own independent and neutral special counsel.
That's right,
Danny the Brain Bauman. We do have to now include him because it's part of our legally binding contracts. We're not going to just react to it. Yeah. We're going to take some time.
We're professionals here. We're proper around here.
We are proper. We are the most proper, including the proper prick.
That's right.
So you're not going to get our answer yet. You're going to get our answer soon.
There you go.
Maybe on next week's episode. Anyway, that wasn't even the intro, right? We still need
to do the intro.